All right, welcome into episode 50 of WCAT Chats. I'm Paul Maruth, joined alongside here with Luke Preek, and we have two special guests here, Holden Staes and Alex Bacchetta. I mean, pleasure having y'all here. Westminster Football legends and now getting it done at the next level. How are y'all doing today?
Doing great. Thank you for having us.
Doing good.
So glad to have you guys here. I mean, we talk about y'all Westminster alumni. I guess just here in college now, how would you say that Westminster's prepared you both academically and athletically?
I would say academically first. Obviously, Westminster has a great reputation for its academics, and something that obviously when you're in it, you kind of don't realize, but it truly is preparing you for when you go to college, just the amount of homework you have, all the assignments you have to get done throughout the week, and the expectations that you have from your teachers. It's a really high expectation here at Westminster, but it definitely prepares you for when you go to college. I would say there's really no difference when you go to college. If not, Westminster's a little harder than college, and just managing your time and all the stuff you have to get done. And then on the athletic side, Westminster definitely prepares you in that way as well. There's great sports here, great coaches. There's a great, weight room with a great strength staff, and that's a big piece about college athletics that a lot of people, tend to forget about because you just see the stuff that happens on the field or on the court. But, you pretty much have to lift every day in college, and, that was an expectation here at Westminster, working out with Coach Lucas all the time. So I would say, all in all, Westminster does a great job getting you ready for the next level.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I would say the high school experience here at Westminster was very similar to my first year at Penn State too, and Rice as well, just because it's a heavy load. School, you have homework every day, every night. You have practice. You have to be really good at managing your time. And yeah, obviously, I didn't even think about the lifting piece, like the weight room piece. Westminster has a really nice weight room and really nice facilities too, and that kind of really translated into college. And it just kind of made the experience a lot more, transition a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that 6-period lifting class, the jackknives, helping out spot people. Man, I remember that was so brutal, but Bacchetta always pushing us hard in the weight room. Glad to see you doing it at the next level.
Mm-hmm. And then over this past winter, both of y'all entered the transfer portal and ultimately found your new home. Talk to me about the decision entering and then how that whole process went.
Yeah, that kind of is weird that we both entered the transfer portal. But, yeah, I mean, I obviously went to Notre Dame for 2 years, and it was a great experience. I love Notre Dame, but in order to, pursue my dreams further and, put myself in the best position trying to get to the NFL, I felt like I had to go to a new school just to get a, better opportunity and better use of my skills and my talents. So I made the decision into the transfer portal, and I ended up choosing the University of Tennessee. So I've been there for the past 2 months and just getting acclimated in a new environment. But it's been good so far. I'm enjoying it. Spring ball starts in a few days, so I'm excited for that and just, picking up and playing in a new offense and stuff like that, playing with new teammates. So it's been a good transition so far.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I transferred because I wanted to find a best opportunity, like Holden said, to pursue the dream of the NFL someday, and it's tough, but, it had to be done. And a change of scene is always good too. It's just seeing something else. Obviously, the year and a half that I had at Penn State was a good time, good experience, but I'm just excited for the future though.
Yeah, that's all great. And about y'all's previous schools, when we've talked about your success athletically, academically, but most importantly with your character, like in terms of values, what is something that Notre Dame, Penn State, what is something that they have taught you that you will carry with you to Tennessee, to Rice, and beyond?
You want to take it first?
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I mean, at Penn State, we had 4 core values: positive attitude, great work ethic, compete in everything you do, and you must be willing to sacrifice. And those have really stuck with me because, like, Coach Franklin, at the beginning of every team meeting, he would call on somebody to talk about their favorite core value. And when you really attach yourself to those values, it really helps you find the best version of yourself and allow you to be the best teammate. And I feel like the character aspect of it, everybody needs to hold each other accountable, and having those core values. That was just Penn State's example. I'm sure you had something similar at Notre Dame and now Tennessee, but yeah, attitude is important.
Yeah, like Alex said, pretty much every football program has, core values that you go by. And we had some at Notre Dame as well. But the more impactful thing that I would say I'm going to take from Notre Dame and Westminster as well is just, the Christian values that both schools instilled in me. And I think that, had a really big impact on my life, especially my time at Notre Dame. It's a big Catholic school. And even though I'm not Catholic myself, it just kind of taught me the values of really, accepting your faith and being passionate about it and wanting to pursue it further and, lead others to God and stuff like that. So even though I'm not in that, day-to-day Christian environment because, University of Tennessee is not a, Christian school, taking those values and those lessons that I learned and bringing them to a new place and trying to lead others to God and stuff like that, I think that's something that, I'm actively pursuing every day and one thing I'm trying to do.
And now preparing for next season as well as trying to get acclimated to, your new environments, how y'all really trying to work at that to achieve your goals for the coming season?
I think the biggest thing for me the past 2 months at Tennessee was just, taking every day as a challenge. One thing I've talked about was just being in a new school with new teammates. It's an opportunity to get out my comfort zone. I feel like I've never really had to do that in my life. So I'm kind of taking that challenge head on and just embracing it. So every day just taking it as a challenge and not, getting bored with the process because, I'm working towards something. Football season's still pretty far away, but you're actively doing stuff every day to get ready for it. So just embracing that process and doing something every day to, better yourself.
Yeah, I would say one thing that I really value is persistence, especially through the highs and the lows. And I feel like a lot of guys, and I've seen this so much, a lot of guys will have those highs and they'll get complacent. And that's one thing that's a big fear of mine too, is being complacent, because as Holden mentioned too, you want to maximize your potential, you know what I mean? And yeah, I would say persistence and having a positive attitude, that's key in this process of transferring, and especially leading into the next season because we'll be going on in our third season now, and it's kind of flown by. It's crazy to think that just almost 3 years ago we were seniors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Feels like it was yesterday, but. Yeah, I'm just staying consistent with this whole process, being process-oriented and not outcome-oriented. That's huge. And just staying level-headed.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned, just 3 years ago back on this campus. What is it like, coming back and seeing the campus? And do you recall any of your favorite memories really from your years at Westminster?
Yeah, just driving in. They're building another building. It doesn't seem like we need another one. But, yeah, Westminster was a great experience. I enjoyed it. I have so many memories here. My favorite memory, I don't know, maybe just, hanging out at lunch every day or on Spatio, just hanging out with your friends all the time. Second semester, senior year is definitely probably the best time in high school. So just having those experiences, I know, we're coming off spring break. So going to senior spring break was an awesome time, and just coming back after that and just taking in the last few months before everyone kind of goes their separate ways.
Yeah, Holden hit the nail on the head. It's second semester senior year is something. Obviously, because you feel that freedom. Everybody kind of knows what college they're going to, and we're all playing. What was it, Foursquare, something like that?
Foursquare, yeah.
Yeah, we're playing all that kind of stuff on the Spatio every day, all day. Whenever we had a free period, it was awesome. But the whole experience though, because I started in 7th grade, and the whole experience at Westminster was something, and it all kind of goes back to the people that you meet and all the connections that you make, because you meet so many great people here. And I still talk to so many people from Westminster to this day, and Holden being one of them. Yeah. All the time, just to keep up with things. But yeah, obviously the drives to school, the drives back home after practice at 7:30 at night, after Coach Romberg talked to the whole team for about an hour after practice. Just memories like that, they're something, and they really stick with you.
Well, I will have to say, second semester senior year is where it's at. I'm going through it right now. It's amazing. But talking about you guys in college and where you're at with your new homes, what are you guys looking forward to most at your new schools?
I would say just an opportunity to be closer to home is pretty cool. A lot of my family would always come to the Notre Dame games, but I feel like Tennessee only being 3 hours away, it'll even be a step further than that, pretty much my whole family would be at the games. And, just playing in the SEC environments would be really cool. I know we have a game at Georgia this year, so that'll be awesome. And we play Alabama at Neyland Stadium. So just games like that I'm really excited for, and just, make my impact on those games. So, yeah, I would say that, just being closer to home and playing against those teams you grew up watching and being so close to.
Yeah, I would say with me, being in the South is fun, good weather. Houston's a good city. It's a lot different from State College, Pennsylvania. I mean, State College had a really good college town environment, and Rice isn't. Rice doesn't really have that in comparison to State College, but it's surrounded by Houston. The downtown Houston, which is awesome. So there's always some fun stuff to do with your friends and all that kind of thing. But yeah, being in the South is great. Great weather, obviously, but. And I'm excited. I'm pretty sure we're playing at West Point this year, and then Navy's coming to play at Rice, and we have a game against South Florida at South Florida. It'll be good. It'll be fun.
And then, coming up this summer, NCAA 2025. I don't know if any of y'all used to play it back in the day or excited, hopefully playing with y'all self.
Yeah, I definitely used to play back in the day. And so when we found out a few weeks ago that they were bringing the game back and we would all be in it, I was pretty excited. So whenever it comes out, I think all the athletes that are in the game get it before the general population does. So I'll definitely.
So you're in?
Yeah,
You're not like Arch Manning?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm definitely in, and I'll be throwing myself the ball a lot.
Yeah, I never grew up on. I never played it when I was younger, but I was always a FIFA kid.
FIFA.
I grew up soccer background. So I grew up FIFA 11 is where it all started. Because I never really liked football until I started playing it, or liked watching it at least. Yeah, I'll definitely be in. Get a couple. Do you even punt in NCAA?
You might, yeah.
Throw an incomplete pass.
Yeah. 4 and out, punt it.
I didn't even know if punting was a part of the game, but here we are.
It's part of football. So.
Yeah.
Football part of the game. All that stuff.
That makes me feel better.
Looking forward to when that comes out. It's going to be fun to play for sure. And seeing y'all in the game, too, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess going back to Westminster then, I remember y'all was talking about Coach Romberg and stuff like that. What's your favorite memory, either from Coach Romberg, a Coach Romberg moment, or the football team in general? A quote, something, anything?
I have a great quote by
Okay.
Coach Romberg. And I actually put this in my yearbook as well. So I remember I was a freshman. I was either a freshman or a sophomore. But Coach Romberg just comes up to me one day, and he looks at me, he starts laughing. He's like, "You kickers, y'all are so friggin' weird." That's it. He just walked on. But that was his word, friggin'.
That's what I was going to say. I don't even have a quote, but it's anything that says friggin' in it. Anytime he says that, it's just that's Romberg. So he probably does that a bunch on the football field or in the weight room. So that would be mine.
No, he was a great coach though. I mean, he had our back. He was with us every step of the way. He was somebody that was really passionate about football, and seeing that, when your coach is really passionate about it, it makes you want to try 10 times harder to get better. So having him as a kind of a role model as a coach, that was something. It really was.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially not a lot of coaches his age would, work out with us like he did in the summer and stuff like that. I always remember that. It was pretty crazy. He still doesn't look his age. But what Alex said, he did so much for the program. So you just wanted to, put your best foot forward for him, and still wish we could have did more.
Yeah.
Our senior year, but
yeah,
this is what it is.
And then so far, 2 years into playing college, what has been the craziest environment? I know, Alex, you had the whiteouts there in Beaver Stadium, which are iconic, and then Notre Dame has had plenty of great games.
Yeah, I would say my freshman year we played at Ohio State and at USC, so those two historic stadiums was pretty cool. And then my freshman year we beat Clemson at Notre Dame, and fans on the field.
I remember that game.
So that was pretty cool. And then this past year, Ohio State came to Notre Dame and we lost, but that was a pretty crazy environment. And then Louisville on the road kind of had a crazy environment as well, and they upset us and their fans. I was on the flip side of a field storming. I was trying to get off the field before I got stampeded, so that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. I would say with me, Penn State, the whiteouts were obviously crazy. I mean, our whiteout against Minnesota, that was my true freshman season. I'm pretty sure they had at least 5 timeouts because it was so loud.
Yeah.
It was something like that. It was crazy. A lot of people have seen like that Michigan video.
Yeah.
The whiteout.
Yeah, the first play.
The first play of the game, take a timeout. Yeah, that was crazy. But we'd go out. The specialists would warm up about 90 minutes before the game would start, and the entire student section would already be filled up. And just experiences like that. I mean, we played Iowa in the whiteout my sophomore year. Running out of the tunnel in the whiteout it's something. Mm-hmm. It's something. And we whooped the opponent's ass both those whiteouts. So that was great. But yeah, that was some great memories. But yeah, playing at Auburn, that was awesome. The fun, the best part about playing at Auburn was we were annihilating them, and come third quarter, the D linemen, some of our D linemen went up on the bench and started waving goodbye to all the Auburn fans. They completely emptied the stadium. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that was something.
Wow, yeah, that is something for sure, to say the least. I mean, not Westminster, like looking back to our school, if you guys were watching some of the games this past year, I mean, we have Brand Morgan at tight end, we had Carson Wilkie as a punter, so kind of the futures of the program. I mean, Carson's leaving, obviously, but Coach Sterniello, special teams are in good hands, I have to say. What are your guys' thoughts on the future of Westminster football?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I know Kicker U will, they'll thrive in the future. It's going to be wonderful. It's gonna be fun to watch them, and a lot of good young specialists coming on through, and a lot of talent coming on through as well. Just to see all the guys in the weight room, the younger future Westminster varsity football players as well. I mean, there are some guys making big gains in the weight room too, which is crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, like you said, the Westminster tradition of football continuing on. I watched a few games this year just to support, my little bro Armstrong, and I definitely saw a few players out there as well making plays. Armstrong's leaving, but Buhay looked good at quarterback, like you said. Brand playing tight end, so that's cool. That Westminster has another up and coming tight end. I don't know a lot of the other younger players, but I know if Coach Romberg, leading them, they'll be headed in the right direction. I don't really understand the new GHSA classifications. I don't get why we're in 4A or whatever, or Woodward's in 6A. But no, I'm sure they'll be great. The program will always be in good hands with the resources we have at Westminster and stuff like that. So as long as the guys are bought in and committed to all the stuff they need to, it should be good.
Yeah, I saw that Westminster's staying in 4A.
Yeah, 4A Region 6, same as we are right now.
And the 6A, I heard 7A is just dissolving.
Gone. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
But we're playing Kell next year.
Yeah, Kell's in our region.
Bridge,
And Benedictine and all.
Yeah, we're going down to Savannah next year.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not much of a region if it's not regional. We got to go 5 hours away there.
That's for a region game?
No, it's not region.
Oh, it's not a region game. Okay.
No.
All right.
Well, both of y'all have talked about, obviously the goal of playing at the next level. What are y'all trying to do, working hard to try to achieve that goal?
Yeah, I would say, for me, we're on spring break right now, but, I made the decision to, stay home and just, work out and put myself in the best position, going into spring ball to just make sure, my body's feeling good and, I'm feeling comfortable with all the new plays I have to run at Tennessee and stuff like that. And then, in the off season, just doing stuff on my own to try to separate myself from people that are doing the same thing. Everybody works out with their team in college, and you have those workouts Monday through Friday, but just doing the extra stuff to kind of put yourself in a different lane in terms of when it comes to playing on Saturdays and stuff like that, and just feeling like you have a little advantage on your opponent, stuff like that.
Yeah, Holden's right. I mean, that's kind of what separates the good from the great, and that's who we're both trying to become. Is obviously maximizing our potential and doing the extra work off the field, doing what, extra separate from all the team stuff. That's huge. Because it all comes out of love for the game ultimately. We both chose to be back here during spring break instead of going to some, fancy island. So, we wanted to get better, and we've been able to lift a couple times together this week as well and catch up. But yeah.
That all sounds great. I mean, I have no further questions for you guys. The interrogation is over, Palmer.
One final question, and then we'll let y'all go. We ask this to every guest. If you give one piece of advice to a younger you, what would that piece of advice be?
Younger me, I would say, since I was, caught up in the football world and the world of recruiting, I guess I'll say this to anyone else who's, interested in playing college football that's in high school right now. Enjoy the process, enjoy your friends. Don't get caught up in what everyone else is doing. Like if it's guys that are being higher recruited than you, that's okay. Everyone's in their own story, writing their own, story and on their own path. But I would just say, just stay consistent, whatever you do. Like if you have a dream and you want to play college football, or if you want to be a doctor, or you want to be a lawyer, whatever it is, like make sure you're doing something every day to try to reach that goal. And I know that's something I did. Like I set out myself really early that I knew I wanted to play college football, so I just made sure every day I did something to put myself in the position of actually achieving that dream. So that would be my advice. Just make sure you're doing something every day to put yourself in the best position.
Yeah, I mean, I can't add much more to that, but I would say just stay grounded, keep your head where your feet are, and don't get too high, don't get too low. Just stay consistent with your process, because that's ultimately what it comes down to. Everything else will take care of itself.
Definitely. Those are some great words. Thank you guys so much for coming on and joining us here with WCAT Chats, the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, best of luck next year and into the future. Hopefully we can be, playing with you in NCAA 25 and then in Madden in a couple of years. So best of luck.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.